Welcome to the Government News Brief. It is Monday, December 19, 2016. In the news, the Barring Committee to be established to target wayward contractors, Moruca Region 1 to become part of the Hinterland Electrification Program, and youth development will be advanced in 2017 through entrepreneurial training. Stay tuned for these and other stories. Thank you for staying with us. I am Ranetta Fleur. Here are the details. The government is embarking on establishing a debarring committee next year to target errant contractors. Paul McAdam has the details.
Local contractors will have to improve their standards as government moves to ensure better value for money. Part of the effort to achieve this will see the formation of a debarring committee. This was revealed by Finance Minister Winston today at his year-end press conference at his ministry's boardroom.
It's provided for in the Act, and it is meant to debar firms and individuals who have been non-compliant or run afoul of the Procurement Act.
For years, there have been criticisms of contractors who have done what can only be described as substandard works in communities across Guyana. Some of these have resulted in millions of dollars in losses for government, as many projects which include roads, wharves, schools, and bridges had to be repaired or corrected soon after being completed. Two recent examples include the billion-dollar K2 secondary school, which is almost 1 year overdue. Remedial works for the construction of the school in Region 8 could cost in excess of $140 million, according to representatives of the auditing company Rodriguez Architects Limited. Another example is the High Street Georgetown building, originally earmarked to be used by the Ministry of Social Services. It too was found to be poorly constructed and needs a large sum of money to correct technical faults. The debarring committee will be put in place early in the new year. Paul McAdam for the Government News Brief.
The community of Moruca Region 1 will become part of the Hinterland Electrification Unit as efforts are underway to formalize the power company. Tiffny Rhodius tells us more.
Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson, during a meeting with residents in Moruca Region 1 over the weekend, says efforts are underway to formalize the Moruca Power and Light.
Now we would put a small board together to run it. There's a consideration right now. In the budget right now, there is $10 million voted to support the Moruca Power and Light. So therefore, with that will come to augment and help you run the Moruca Power and Light, and that starts from January 1.
Moruca will become the 10th community to be part of the Hinterland Electrification Unit, with the formalization of the power company, Minister Patterson notes.
The good thing about coming out of the region is that you come on a company called the Hinterland Electrification Unit, and that is far better, I like to say, managed and resourced than the region.
In the meantime, Moruca residents were assured that there will be an extension of hours to their current supply.
One of the things that I'm doing now, with which and I can commit to you, is that extend the hours of light when the generator set can work.
The National Frequency Management Unit, NFMU, will better serve the public and facilitate government and the private sector as they roll out telecoms and ICT networks and services. Gabreila Reporting reports.
The NFMU has developed a mobile broadband plan that can address the need for additional spectrum for more black hole links which have been identified. Minister of Public Telecommunications Catherine Hughes says that the services that the spectrum will facilitate include commercial as well as health, education, and other government services.
With the liberalization of the telecoms ICT sector, it is expected that more operators will enter the marketplace. This will lead to demand for additional spectrum.
Minister Hughes adds that the NFMU Girls in ICT activities will continue to raise awareness of the benefits, opportunities for females in the ICT sector. At least 500 girls are targeted in 2017. In 2017, a new building, vehicles, monitoring equipment, office furniture, among others, will be geared at improving the efficiency and services that the NFMU provide to all spectrum users. Meanwhile, with the new liberalized technological environment, this creates an expanded role of the Public Utilities Commission (PUC). Minister Hughes notes that the role of the commission is widened to include advising the minister and the telecoms agency when required on areas such as pricing, fair competition, and competition protection.
And with respect to communications, rates are to be determined by supply and demand in an open, competitive market economy, and the Commission will have oversight to ensure that these rates are fair and reasonable.
Other PUC roles include monitoring and ensuring compliance with license conditions issued to telecommunications undertakings. The PUC establishes reporting requirements and enforce compliance. For the Government News Brief, I'm Gabreila Reporting.
Government plans to establish an annual regional management forum to identify and address critical issues facing the regions and to work with local stakeholders to set and deliver key priorities. Zanneel Williams tells us more.
The National Regional Development Consultative Committee, as the forum will be called, is in keeping with the Ministry's agenda with regards to regional empowerment, Minister of Communities Ronald Bulkan says.
This committee will bring together all of our RDCs at the level of regional chairs and REOs, and it will be an exercise that will be focused on planning, management of our regions with particular emphasis on financial planning. It will allow for interaction with all of our RDCs and the central government at the level of all of the ministries, at the level of the program heads.
The forum, which is set for early next year, will become a regular feature of the ministry, Minister Bulkan says.
It is intended to be an annual forum where in subsequent years it will allow for our respective regions to report on activities and projects in the preceding year and to speak to projects and activities in the ensuing year. So it will be a formal activity where all of the proceedings will be documented, so it will become a permanent part of the records.
Consistent with regional empowerment, the ministry will also roll out another initiative, that is the renaming of the region. Minister Bulkan says consultation on this process will begin in each region early 2017. I am Zanneel Williams for the Government News Brief.
Several programs and initiatives in 2017 will see youth development being advanced. One of these is entrepreneurial-based. More in this report from Delon Sancho.
Minister of Finance Winston says the aim is to empower youth to become entrepreneurs while at the same time create an healthier business environment, especially for small businesses.
While expanding its existing programs aimed at fostering youth entrepreneurship, the Small Business Bureau will be extending its reach into education institutions to expose students to entrepreneurial initiatives and skills. This new venture will include a competition which will see at least 10 students receiving grants to start their very own businesses.
Minister Jordan says that the Macro and Small Enterprise Development, the MSED project, will continue with its financing and training and development activities, targeting prospective and established entrepreneurs and small businesses.
A total of 660 clients is targeted for training and business support. Additionally, a total of 600 micro enterprises will be visited to review their business plans and the results of training facilitated by the project. Also, to ensure a level playing field in bidding for government contracts, our government is enforcing the requirement that every endeavor be made to ensure that at least 20% of public contracts be awarded to small businesses.
Additionally, the Finance Minister points out that the Sustainable Livelihood and Entrepreneurial Development Program will continue to support small and micro enterprise growth through a suite of programs.
The government maintains that a strong and resilient private sector is one of the cornerstones of a healthy and robust economy, and is committed to maintaining a thriving and fair business environment so that our business owners and future entrepreneurs may prosper.
Delon Sancho for the Government News Brief.
The Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs is venturing into another organic project. Find out more from Isaiah Braithwaite.
The Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs has been experimenting with the production of organic agricultural products. Its Try Tomato project has received positive feedback. The Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Sydney Allicock, says this has led the ministry into potato production and adding value to it.
This is the idea, and we're looking at other products too. Like we have this there is a red potato or black potato, they call it, and we have tested it out to make something like a Milo. You know, you have these packages. You could have similar thing, organic stuff coming out from these indigenous communities.
So you
that promoting indigenous stuff.
The minister says this will be done through partnership with the Institute of Applied Science and Technology, IAST. Additionally, the minister pointed out that having a central packaging point in the Rupununi will be essential to the venture.
The basic idea is to have a central production point or packaging point where you put value to it, because it must have standards, and from there it will be shipped to wherever. But cheap electricity is going to be that answer, more so the commitment of the communities to produce.
The minister says that once the Mokomoko hydro power plant is operational, steps will be made to see the establishment of the packaging plant. Isaiah Braithwaite for the Government News Brief.
We have come to the end of today's edition of the Government News Brief. The details of these and other stories can be found on GINA's website. You can also visit and like our Facebook page so you can be informed as the news unfolds. Join us tomorrow for another edition of this, the Government News Brief. I am Ranetta Fleur. Thank you for watching.